Can begin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Eric Nelson, and if you're new to this gathering, welcome, and glad you can make it tonight. Since you're here, you've registered, and we always have a follow-up email that we send out with the video, so you can view it again if you want to have a guided practice, as well as a number of supporting materials that you can read that provide more detailed guidance on practice itself and on mindfulness as well. So I encourage you to check out those resources and utilize those as they fit your needs. Tonight, I'll start with a poem here in just a minute, a reading. And tonight might be a little different format. I think I'm going to focus, as we typically do, with some body scan. I'll probably move into some loving kindness practice. I think I'm going to focus a little bit more on self-soothing. I'm thinking that maybe others are in need of self-soothing. Then we'll probably close with some mindfulness practice, and I'll have a very short reading from our text, The Essential Spirituality, to kind of close out our evening. So again, welcome everyone. So if you wanted to settle in, get comfortable in your chair. And I'll start with a reading and ring our bell, and then we'll move into a guided practice. So just settling in, feet are flat on the floor, back is fairly straight. If you want to turn off your video, you can, or you can leave it on, whichever works for you. This is a reading by Franz Kafka. You can hold yourself back from the sufferings of the world. That is something you are free to do in accords with your nature. But perhaps this very holding back is the one suffering you could avoid. I'll read that again. Franz Kafka. You can hold yourself back from the sufferings of the world. That is something you are free to do and in accords with your nature. But perhaps this very holding back is the one suffering you could avoid. So again, just settling in, hands comfortably in the lap or folded, left hand on the bottom, right hand cradled in that left hand if you want to use that mudra. And just closing the eyes if you'd like, or if you're more comfortable just looking down at the floor, maybe 5 feet in front of you with a soft gaze. And just bringing your attention to sound right now. And I use the bell as a metaphor for how thoughts and emotions arise in the mind and the body. And if we don't grab on or push away to those thoughts or emotions as they emerge, or physical sensations, they tend to settle and dissolve fairly rapidly, just like the sound of the bell comes into form and then slowly dissolves into stillness. So just beginning with 5 slow deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Inviting the body to soften and relax on each exhale. one final slow, deep breath. Now just taking a moment to check into the motivation, the inspiration for showing up tonight. What is it that inspired you to take time from your evening tonight to spend this in a contemplative practice? What's that deeper yearning that you're responding to? And then just checking in, there may be something that's might be a distraction in your life right now that might pop up during practice. And just noticing what those distractions might be, acknowledging them. It's an unresolved experience from the past, or maybe it's a projection into the future, or something you're feeling right now. Acknowledging that and letting that quality know that it's important, but for the next hour that you're giving whatever that distraction might be, that weighty thought or emotion, you're giving it permission to just take a rest, knowing that you'll get to it at a later time. You're not pushing it away in any way, but you're actually giving permission to rest. And for the next hour, just opening to the possibility of experiencing our deepest nature that's prior to thought, just resting in stillness, and from that stillness, sense of interconnectedness, spaciousness, compassion, self-acceptance, many qualities can arise in that place of stillness as we move into our practices tonight. And with that being said, just letting go of any outcomes, any expectations for tonight's practice. Whatever happens, happens. Sometimes the mind is quite busy. Sometimes it's quiet for a while and then it gets busy. So just being with the coming and going of the thoughts and the emotions as they come and go. And finally, just checking our posture now. And noticing the feet are on the floor, so have a sense of stability and groundedness. The shoulders are back a bit, so the chest is open. It's easy to breathe. The chin is down slightly, so we're not stressing out the neck. And if you're comfortable, the eyes can be closed to reduce distractions. And we'll just begin with a brief, maybe not so brief, but a body scan. We do this by, the body scan is helpful because if we're with sensations in the body as they're arising, we're automatically resting attention in the moment, lost in the future or the past. A very simple practice of coming into present moment awareness by being with the sensations as they come and go in the body. So just beginning by bringing the attention to the top of the head. And feeling sensations there in the scalp, around the ears. Sensing into the forehead, brow area, the space between the eyebrows. Just inviting that whole forehead brow area to soften, soothe, and rest. That's letting go of any subtle contractions of those muscles in the forehead and the eyes. Sensing into the cheeks, the nose, the lips, the jaw. And inviting the whole face to soften, soothe, and rest. Sometimes it's kind of like the face becomes like a quiet sleeping baby. No contraction, no subtle expression on the face, just limp, soft, relaxed. Again, sensing into the jaw, the tongue, and the throat. Inviting those areas to soften, soothe, and rest. And feeling it, sensing into the neck and the shoulders. Inviting those areas to soften, soothe, and rest. Sensing into the left arm, dropping down into the left hand. Just resting in sensations in that left hand. And bring the attention back up from that left hand, up to the left arm, to the left shoulder. And just inviting that whole left shoulder and arm and hand to soften, soothe, and rest. And bring the attention over into the right shoulder. Bring attention down to the right upper arm, down to the elbow, the forearm, the wrist. And just resting the attention in that right hand. The palm, fingers, the back of the hand. Just being with sensations as they come and go in that right hand. That's resting. Bring the attention up through that right hand, up the right arm, into the right shoulder, and just invite that whole right shoulder, arm, and hand to soften, soothe, and rest. Sensing to the shoulders, and the upper back, the shoulder blades. By the shoulders and the upper back to soften, soothe, and rest. Just letting go of any contraction, any tightness in that upper shoulders and back. Soften, soothe, and rest. And dropping down through the middle of the back, lower back, noticing sensations there. Noticing any contraction or tightness there in the lower back. And then dropping attention down into the hips and the sits bones. Feeling the contact of the sits bones against the cushion, against the chair you're sitting in. Just being with the moment by moment sensations that you notice between that contact of the sits bones and the chair. I would sensation prior to the naming. Noticing by the whole back, the shoulders, the upper back, middle back, lower back, hips. Sits bones to soften, soothe, and rest. Soften, soothe, and rest. Just remembering with our practice tonight, there's really nothing to do. There's nowhere to get to. A particular outcome we're looking for. And there's no problems to solve. We're just cultivating our capacity to be with a moment by moment experience with openness, with kindness, with curiosity. And in that space, over time, we actually learn to understand the patterns of the mind, those patterns which bring joy and happiness, and those patterns which foster suffering and confusion. So again, just moving down now from the hips down into the left thigh and the left knee, just noticing sensations there. Attention down in the left calf. Don't worry, as we do body scans, sometimes it's not easy to notice any sensation in that particular body part. So we just rest our attention as best we can in that space of the body. Just noticing either sensations or maybe the absence of sensations. There's still a sense of being with that part of the body in space. Dropping attention down through the shin, down into the left ankle. Again, releasing any contraction or tension in that lower left leg. Ankle now dropping down into the heel, the arch, contact of the foot on your shoe, on the floor, on the earth. Sensing into the ball of the left foot, the toes, top of the foot. Again, just invite that whole left hip and thigh, and calf, and ankle, feet and toes, foot and toes to soften, soothe, and rest. Soften, soothe, rest. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no problems to solve in this moment. Any sense of calm or stillness that maybe you're noticing right now, just inviting that into the whole body, just enjoying that. There's a moment of peace there. And you're just inviting a smile into the face, into the heart. Just enjoying this moment of being alive, having a breath that you can take. And bring the attention back into the body, into the hips again. Sits bones, and now over to that right sits bone, the right hip, and then moving into the right thigh, right upper leg. The right knee. The attention down into that back of the calf there on the right leg. Just noticing the sensations are there. The right shin. Ankle. Heel. The arch of the foot. Ball of the foot, the toes, top of the foot. Just feeling the contact of that right foot on the floor, on the earth. That full right leg and foot soften, soothe, and rest. Now, I'm just feeling both feet firmly on the floor, maybe just pressing the feet into the floor, into the earth a bit. And just feeling the stability of the body and the chair and the feet on the earth. You can visualize this body as like a mountain. At the top of the mountain, our gaze is open and spacious with a beautiful vista view. The middle and the base of the mountain is strong and stable, and the base of the mountain is rooted deep in this Mother Earth. And we just affirm this connection between this human body and this Mother Earth body. The elements of this Mother Earth sustain us with each breath we take, each drink that we take, each morsel of food we consume, as well as the beauty of nature itself that sustains us. We give thanks for that. And just recognize this deep, deep interconnectedness, interbeing with our Mother Earth. Maybe feeling into this earth space even deeper by just bringing into your mind's eye, into your body, the experience of a place where you feel comfortable in nature, where you feel surrounded by beauty, you feel at home, a special place for you. Maybe it's somewhere you've traveled to, it might be just your backyard, by woods, wherever it might be for you. Maybe it's looking up at the night sky, ocean view, or mountain view, whatever that is for you. And just connecting with the beauty of this natural place, this natural space, and feeling the beauty and the support of this Mother Earth. Notice the colors, shapes, the shadows, the patterns of this place, this space of nature. Sounds that might be present. Perhaps there's smells of the earth, the plants around you, the water, fragrance of smell after a rainstorm, whatever it might be. Sensations on the skin, sunlight, the breeze, warmth or coolness. And just inviting a smile into the mind, into the body, into the heart. And having had this connection with this Mother Earth, which is really a reflection of art and beauty. This macrocosm of the earth is reflected at the microcosm of this body. And in that relationship, the sense of a separate self begins to dissolve. You really start to see that we are a community of life, not separate being. This idea of separation is it's just that. It's a concept that the senses trick us into. I think that which is seen supposedly outside us is separate, and that's just a confusion. Truly deeply entangled and connected to all life. Let's feel into that connection, feel into that fullness. Relax into that fullness. Find the boundaries of the skin to the space around us to dissolve. It's feeling into the space around us. And we're inhaling that space around us as with each breath. Slowly dissolving that sense of separation of the space around us and the world. And just relaxing into a sense of spacious, open-hearted awareness. Just resting. Now just bring into your mind's eye someone who's a benefactor, a teacher, could be a spiritual teacher or a mentor, whomever that might be, living or past. And just bringing that person into your mind's eye. Imagine yourself walking into a room, sitting down, and this being comes in and sits across from you. You see their love and their compassion, their care, their support, looking into their eyes and just extending gratitude for them being in your life and having supported you or guided you. And maybe several people that you would like to bring into your mind's eye and give gratitude for the love and support they have provided to you in this life. Just take your time. Just imagining receiving our gratitude and your smile reflected back in their eyes. They're grateful for our care and support of them. Grateful for our appreciation for their example in their life of beauty and joy, love and compassion. There may be special pets in your life that have support you through hard times, or giving you nurture and care. It's gratitude for them as well. Loving beings of nature. Whatever connection you've felt there, just bring that joy into your heart again, feeling into that, feeling that fullness, feeling that connection, feeling that groundedness. And now we'll move into brief loving kindness practice. Extend these words first to you, and then we'll extend these words to all beings. May you be happy and joyful in this moment. So relaxing into that affirmation, may you be happy and joyful in this moment. May you be healthy in mind, healthy in body, healthy in spirit. May you know inner peace. May you know peace in all your relationships. May you know peace in all your relationships. May you be free from suffering and free from the causes of suffering. May you live with ease. May you live with ease. May you be happy and joyful in this moment. May you be healthy in mind, healthy in body, healthy in spirit. May you know inner peace and peace in all your relationships. May you know peace in all your relationships. May you be free from suffering and free from the causes of suffering. May you live with ease. Now I'll extend this loving kindness to all beings. And I'll tap the bell after each phrase. I'm just imagining the sound of the bell radiating outward to the whole universe, carrying our loving kindness to all beings. May all beings be happy and joyful. beings be healthy in mind, healthy in body, healthy in spirit. Just imagining these wishes radiating out in front of us, behind us, to the left, to the right, above us, below us, in all directions. Filling this universe with love and kindness. May all beings know inner peace and peace in their relationships. May all beings be free from suffering and free from the causes of suffering. May all beings live at ease. And just bringing the attention into the body. Noticing the contact points of the feet, the sits bones, the hands, shoulders, head. Noticing the contact of the air on the skin, feeling into the space of the room that you're in. As we rest in this spacious awareness, just noticing in the background the sensation of the breath as it comes and goes in the body, as we just rest in open awareness in the foreground with the breath in the background. So as we just rest in this open awareness, we're just being with whatever is arising. There's no need to focus the attention in any particular area. We're just awake and alert to whatever is arising in the mind, in emotions, in the body, in stillness. And just resting in this open-hearted, spacious awareness. Just resting and being awake and alert and kind-hearted. Again, maybe there's a smile that can be brought to the face, to the body, to the heart. And it's opening to this moment of aliveness, of wakefulness. Just open to whatever is coming and going. No need to grab on or push away anything. A deep allowing of whatever is arising to come and go at its own pace, at its own time. Now just returning to the breath as our primary object of attention in the upper body. And bring the attention down into the feet, feeling into the feet on the ground, floor. Wiggling the toes and the fingers a bit. And I'll close with just a brief reading from our book, Essential Spirituality by Roger Walsh. This is in the wisdom section, Awakening to Wisdom. And he talks about learning to know yourself as a pathway to connecting to wisdom. How do we learn to know ourselves? In one sense, all spiritual practice is geared towards this discovery. However, 3 specific techniques are especially important. 1, meditation or contemplation. 2, studying of oneself, one's own mind and body. And 3, self-acceptance. The power of inner exploration and meditation, which are critical first steps, is increased by our study of our outer self. This means giving careful attention to everything we say and do. It means trying to learn from every experience. We observe what we say and do, our habits and relationships, strengths and weaknesses, successes and failures. In this way, every experience, every person, every interaction becomes a lesson, and the world becomes a schoolhouse for the soul. According to Jewish sages, the wise man or woman who learns from every phrase he hears, from every event he observes, and from every experience he shares, through doing this, you will be able to use every experience as a means to drawing yourself closer to awakening to God. This effort to learn from all experiences is a superb exercise. It takes a little extra time and effort, and yet it transforms each experience and eventually one's entire life into a continuous opportunity for learning. And the final piece is self-acceptance, this 3rd key element. For deep self-knowledge is self-acceptance. We hear much about the importance of accepting others, and appropriately so, but we hear often very little about self-acceptance, probably because it's often confused with pride or smugness. Self-acceptance does not mean puffing ourselves up or feeling superior to another person. Rather, it means relinquishing self-attack and condemnation. One of Western psychotherapy's most important discoveries is the enormous amount of neurotic pain caused by self-condemnation, and the equally enormous healing that self-acceptance can bring. So with that, I end our evening. And thank you all for coming, and we have a few slides to share about upcoming events that you might be interested in. And our first, as many of you know, these programs are brought to you freely, and we're happy to accept your donations if you're so moved. That could just be a one-time donation, or if you'd like to give monthly. You can see this slide, and you'll get this information in your email too. But we have, you can give online through this tinyurl.com, donate to UUCC, so that you can get that information. And next slide, some announcements. So upcoming events you might be interested in. I'll be hosting a Mindful Living Spring Retreat, April 19th. You can register for that again at that address at the bottom, UU Community Church. And again, we'll have probably have a link in the upcoming email to you if you'd like to come to that gathering from 10 till 3. And we go a little deeper into practice. It's usually a brown bag type lunch, bring your own lunch. And we do walking meditation and a little more in-depth in mindfulness practice training, as well as compassion practice and effortless mindfulness or non-dual practice. So quite a sampling of various practices that you can see what you like best. And we have a sustainability group, Climate Change and Behavioral Science, on April 21st. Again, you can find that information on our website. And that will be featuring, I think they're an adjunct professor from Western that will be speaking and really talking about the challenge of dealing from a psychological level with this time of deep change with the climate. And lastly, Thoughtful Thursday, coming up next month, Building Climate Resilience. We'll have the president of the Kalamazoo Climate Crisis Coalition will be on and talking about efforts that they're supporting in the Kalamazoo area to support greater energy efficiency in housing here, as well as issues in the current climate change process, as well as probably some of the legislation that's being looked at as well to try to deal with changes that are happening in our political scene right now. And is that the last slide, I believe? Yes. Great. Well, thank you everyone for coming, and we'll see you, I think, yep, our next gathering will be Monday, April 14th and 7 p.m. So we hope you can make it. And again, look for that email that'll be sent to you, and there's a lot of nice resources in there, especially the book by Kula Dasa, Mind Illuminated. It's a great guide to deeper spirit, deeper contemplative and mindfulness practice. Thank you all for coming, and see you in a couple weeks. Namaste.